Hi there, we're SmileHome, and today I'm interviewing Heather about her life here in Tokyo and her involvement in the women entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Japan. So to start off with, can you tell us a bit about yourself, what you do here in Japan, and why you decided to settle down here?
I'm Heather Dobbin, and I've been in Japan for about the past 13 and a half years. What I do here currently is I do leadership development and facilitation for people who are entrepreneurs, so either startup founders, creatives, people who have small companies. I'm also I'm involved in that. I'm involved on the corporate side, so I work with multinational companies as well to develop things like communication skills, proactive team culture, and things like executive presence. And in addition to that, I also am on the board of directors for an organization called Startup Lady, and I work here on the community management program at Tokyo Innovation Base, which is an initiative aimed at supporting the startup ecosystem here, run by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government. So I have my own business, and then I also do community work with local governments here in Tokyo. And why I decided to stay here is, I love being in Japan. And, throughout the various parts of my career and movements within Japan, like I've actually lived in 3 different prefectures, I think, since I arrived here. I've come to form a community here. I've come to form roots. And I do think that for someone who is not Japanese, there's a lot of opportunity to make an impact. Of course, that's true for people within Japan as well, but the impact that we make is different.
So with the 13 years of experience that you have had with your business, what do you see you doing with your business in the future?
Oh, that's great. So I will say I have done my business for the past 6 years. Before that, I came over just like everyone else as an English teacher because I love Japan. I was like, how do I get here? And I had been doing that actually in Korea for the Korean version of JET called Epic. And so it was just sort of an easy way to go across borders. Running my business full time has been about the past 6.5 years. So in many ways, I feel like I'm still just getting started. And so what I really want to do with my business going on is continue my one-on-one coaching work, continue my training and learning development work. But particularly, I want to focus on partnering with actually VCs, who are people we were just talking about, and accelerators to support their founders. Because the kind of coaching work that I do is really critical for the beginning stages of a business. But a lot of founders and small business owners either don't have the cash flow to make that happen, or they don't understand why they would need the kind of support that I can offer until much, much later. And I say this because I have personal experience with this pain. And, pain is important. It's a good teacher. But I do think that some of it is preventable if the human skills support side of things is actually something that's equally important in an accelerator as pitching, as business strategy, as plan.
So when you first moved to, was it 13 years ago, you said, how was your housing process and how's housing search like? Did you struggle? What were the things you found easy, and would a company like SmileHome have helped you?
Yes, because I think first, I have never personally had any issue finding an apartment. I am rare.
Yeah.
And I think that the reason why I've never had this issue is because I've always had support. I'm very picky about my home. And so something that's frustrating for me sometimes is feeling like I have fewer options, or I have to pay an expat premium when I'm actually an immigrant. I live here, I would like to have access to the same housing prices as everyone else and not have to pay the expat tax.
Yeah. So setting up your life here, you really came here with a job.
Yes.
So you didn't have to really go through all of those logistics. But how did you feel like it was integrating yourself into the local culture and some things that invisible culture barriers that not everyone could see straight away? What would you say they were?
It's really interesting because, again, this was 13 years ago, but my experience was relatively frictionless. But the cultural barriers in Japan, I think they're invisible, meaning that I don't think a lot of people realize they're running up against them until many years down the road. So, for example, like there were some things about my leadership style or my communication style where I thought like alignment was being built and progress was being made, and then oh, it's just people being polite, too polite to say like, oh, that's a bad idea, or like the lack of acceptance into spaces that probably really would have launched my career. And you don't even know they exist until you speak Japanese and until you start integrating yourself a little bit more into the culture. But again, like you can't help but wonder how much further along, and I mean, that's just a thought experiment, right? But how much further along would you be if you had understood these things more from the beginning? Again, pain, learning experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. You bring together these communities of female founders. What is the reason behind this? Like you stated earlier, can you talk more into that and your inspiration behind?
Yeah, well, I mean, there are so many reasons. Obviously, like I'm a female founder, and I've walked into rooms here with other foreign founders. That's another thing too. Like the founder ecosystems are quite siloed between Japanese people and everyone else, which is something that really bothers me. But of course, initially, as I founded my business, I found myself walking into more English-speaking spaces. And even outside of Japan, you walk into those spaces as a woman founder and no one assumes that you're an executive or the CEO or a founder. They're like, oh, you must be a representative of some other company, or like they just sort of overlook you. And I think that while that is like moving through those spaces in order to create change is a really important aspect of it, the resilience that you have to have as a female founder, I think we do need those spaces where we're just allowed to like not have to deal with that and to have it be our product or our company or our service first, right? So when you're in a group of female founders, because everyone's a female founder, you're just founders. And also here within Japan in particular, there, we have the most educated, like one of the most educated female populations in the world. And because like Japanese companies are so bad at, I'm just trash talking. They're bad at allowing women to come back after maternity leave. Women here in their careers have to focus on, do I have a career or do I have a family? So you have like all of these women who are highly educated, who could really, really participate in the economic growth of Japan and in the workforce, but they're being like, pushed out. So their loss, our gain, like women can found their own companies, and we tend to really outperform our male only founded companies peers by like 60% or something like that, despite receiving less than 3% of venture capital worldwide. And so not only do I want to bring together communities of female founders, I want it to be a truly like cosmopolitan community that I build. And so far, like there have been some successes and some failures, but I'm positive about the future with that.
So with that, what would your one piece of advice be with foreign founders moving to Tokyo, just like setting up and starting up their businesses?
Right now, it's, how can I put it? Like have a day job. And the reason why I say that is because under current, like just straight up, like under current administration practices, if you're not employed by a company, it is very hard to like set up a company here. So find some organization that's meaningful, that also like what I do here at Tokyo Innovation Base, that supports your mission as well, that provides you that stable floor to come here. So that would be my example for like sort of like bootstraps female founders or foreign founders. And despite like some of the things that are happening at the national level, local governments, even Tokyo is huge, but it's still considered a local government. There's a lot of support and a lot of desire to welcome people in. So either way, like come, find your place, contribute, and you should be good. But build for the long term. Japan is not a place to come, make a bunch of money and have a quick exit. We definitely are building more like sustainable businesses here. So if you want to do that, go to the US.
Amazing. Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time, Rose. Thank you for watching.
Bye.